Have you ever heard your name called from a place where no one should be? A voice that sounds familiar but comes from the dark? They say there's a forest where if you hear your name, you don't come back. Before this story pulls you in, subscribe to the 60-second scare because some warnings are meant to be heard. The road ended where the village forgot itself. No streetlights, no shops, no noise. Just a narrow stretch of broken asphalt leading into silence. Arjun got caught once, twice, and died. Perfect, he muttered, kicking the stand down. He checked his phone. No signal. He looked ahead. The road curved slightly, and beyond it, trees, tall, still, watching the forest. He sighed. Just my luck. A faint sound of footsteps behind him. Slow, dragging. Arjun turned. An old man stood there, thin, bent, eyes too alert for his age. You shouldn't be here, the old man said. His voice was low, like it didn't want to be heard. Arjun gave a polite smile. Bike broke down. I'll leave once it's fixed. The old man didn't move, didn't blink. What day is it today? He asked. Arjun frowned. Full moon, I guess. The old man's face changed. Not fear, not shock. Something worse. Recognition. You need to leave, he said, before the moon rises fully. Arjun chuckled. Uncle, relax. I'm not scared of stories. The old man stepped closer. Too close. If you hear your name, he whispered, don't answer. Silence. For a moment, Arjun felt something crawl under his skin. Then he shook it off. Yeah, okay. When he looked up again, the old man was gone. Time passed. Too slowly, too quietly. The sky darkened. The last orange light faded into black. And then the moon rose, full, bright, unblinking. The forest looked different now, darker, deeper, like it had opened its eyes. No wind, no insects, no sound, just silence so heavy it pressed against his ears. Arjun sat beside his bike, scrolling through old messages, trying to ignore the feeling that he wasn't alone. Arjun? He froze. The voice was soft, almost a whisper. He looked around. Hello? Nothing. He laughed nervously. Probably someone from the village. Then again, closer this time. Arjun. His name, perfectly spoken, not shouted, not called, whispered, like someone standing right behind him. He turned. Nothing but the forest felt closer. Arjun. This time, it came from inside the trees. Something shifted inside him. It wasn't fear, it wasn't curiosity. It was familiarity, like hearing your name from someone you trust. His feet moved, one step, then another, toward the forest. No, stop, he muttered, but his body didn't listen. Arjun. Now there were more voices, soft, layered, whispering together, calling him. The closer he got, the quieter the world became, until There was nothing left except the voice. He stood at the edge of the forest. The trees towered above him, branches twisted like hands. The darkness inside was thicker than night. Arjun, right in front of him now, waiting. He tried to step back, but his body leaned forward. The air inside the forest felt different, colder, alive. And then he took the first step inside. The moment his foot touched the soil, the voices stopped. Silence, complete, behind him. The road disappeared into darkness. Ahead of him, something moved just beneath the ground, watching, waiting. They don't call you to guide you. They call you to take you. If this gave you chills, hit like. Share this with someone who loves horror. Comment "I won't answer" if you would ignore the voice, and subscribe to the 60-second scare. Because in episode 2, the forest doesn't just call, it answers. It didn't sound like a stranger. It sounded like someone who knew him. A voice that didn't just call his name. It pulled him toward it. If you thought the first step was the worst mistake, wait till you hear what answered back. Subscribe to the 60-second scare before it's too late. The moment Arjun stepped into the forest, everything stopped. No wind, no insects, no sound. Even the voice was gone. It was as if the forest had been waiting for him to enter. He turned back. The road was barely visible now, just a faint strip of darkness, swallowed by shadows. Okay, this isn't funny anymore, he whispered, but his voice didn't echo. It didn't travel. It died. The moment it left his lips, the trees stood too close together, too straight, too still. Their branches twisted like fingers, reaching, pointing at him. Arjun took a step forward. Crack! A branch snapped under his foot. The sound echoed, but not outward, inward, like the forest had heard him. Then, a whisper. Arjun. His breath caught. The voice was back, but this time, it wasn't coming from one direction. It was everywhere. Arjun, Arjun, Arjun. Different tones, different pitches, some soft, some broken, some not human. Arjun covered his ears. Stop, just stop. But the voices didn't fade. They grew louder, closer. You came. That wasn't his name. That was something else. Something aware. His thoughts slowed. His heartbeat softened. The fear began to fade, replaced by something dangerous. Calm. Come further. The voice wasn't asking. It was guiding. His legs moved again, one step, then another. Deeper into the forest. Branches brushed against his skin. But it didn't hurt. Nothing hurt. Nothing felt real anymore. Except the voice. The deeper he went, the stranger it became. The trees looked taller. The shadows moved differently. He turned around, the path behind him. Gone. Completely gone. No. No, no. His breathing quickened, but his body didn't stop moving. Arjun. Now the voice was softer, closer, like someone walking beside him. He stepped forward and froze. The ground beneath him moved, not shifted, not cracked, moved, like something underneath. It was breathing, slow, heavy. The soil rose slightly, then sank again. Arjun stumbled back. What the? A sound, a wet, dragging sound from below. Then, a hand burst through the soil, pale, rotten, trembling, grabbing at the air. Arjun screamed, but more hands followed, breaking through the ground, reaching, searching. Arjun. Now the voice came from below, from the earth itself, and something began to rise. They're not buried. They're waiting. If this made your heart race, hit like. Share this with someone who loves horror. Comment, "Don't look down," if you would run. And subscribe to the 60-second scare, because in episode 3, the buried ones come out. The ground didn't just move, it opened, and what came out wasn't dead. If you think you can run from what's buried beneath you, think again. Subscribe to the 60-second scare before they learn your name. The hand shot out of the soil, twisting, reaching. Arjun stumbled back, his breath breaking into panic. No, this isn't real. But it was. The fingers dug into the earth, pulling, struggling, like something was trying to escape. From beneath, another hand burst through, then another, all around him. The ground began to break, crack, tear, shift. The forest floor was no longer still. It was waking up. Bodies began to emerge, not walking, not crawling, dragging themselves out, faces pale, skin torn, eyes wide open, but empty, watching him. Arjun couldn't move. Dozens of them now, half buried, half risen. Their heads turned, slowly, all at once, toward him. Arjun. This time, they all said it together, not whispered, spoken, like a chorus of the dead. His heart pounded. His mind screamed, "How do they know my name?" One of them smiled, its lips cracked, stretching too wide. "You told us." Arjun shook his head violently. "No, I didn't." "You came," another voice said. "You heard. You followed." They weren't calling him before. They were learning him. Each whisper, each step, each second he listened. They were pulling him in, making him one of them. "Join us." Their voices softened,